Good morning, everybody. My name is Armin. Just to give you a quick background of myself before we start, I'm the founder CEO of a growth hacking agency in between New York City and Milan called the Armin Bar. We actually opened the office in Milan last year in September. And I'm one of the business coaches for the European Commission for the Horizon 2020 program. And it's been 6 years. I'm teaching at the Bologna Business School. Also from this year at St. Gallen Business School in Switzerland. And since last year at TAG Innovation School in Talent Garden in Milan. The whole concept of growth hacking, you may have heard of it in different ways. I don't want to repeat certain things, but what I would like to tell you is how we see it, how we define it, and how we implement it. Because for us, you may have heard like the term they say like growth hacking is a mindset. It is very true. Growth hacking is a mindset. And what is this mindset and how to acquire that mindset and how to implement that mindset would be what we're gonna discuss very quickly today. Today, what I would like to go over with you, I would like to go over the concept a little bit, what is growth hacking. Then I'm gonna show you two different case studies, two of our clients that very different industries, one a restaurant in Milan, and the other one, a blockchain development company in Rotterdam, Netherlands. And at the end, I would like to also share with you a few cool tools and tricks that you may be able to use, especially for B2B activities. So, a lot of you may heard or may watch the famous TED Talk of Simon Sinek, Golden Circles, which stuck with me for many reasons, obviously because it made so much sense. And at the same time, I tried to apply that to my personal life, to my business, and step by step, try to adjust it in a way that makes sense to me and like create my own version of it, if that makes sense. And what I understood, first of all, was that to be successful in anything that you're doing, soft skills matter more than hard skills. Soft skills, I mean, when the difference, just a definition, soft skill, if you're a team player, if you're a good listener, that's a soft skills. And a hard skill would be when you're just like, oh, I know how to work with Photoshop. That's a hard skill. Soft skills matter for what you do more than hard skills. And for me, I realized that I suck at everything except 2 to 3 things that I'm good at them and I'm very good at them. Like I'm a good observer, I'm a good presenter, and I'm good at connecting the dots. I don't know anything else. And try to apply all these, how I can apply that in my career, how I can build a career around it, which turned out to be like, oh, these are good qualities to be a good marketer, to be a good salesperson. And when I started the company, the whole concept was that, okay, 2 things. Number one, I don't want to look at what others doing. So other agencies that they were out there, I want to do it the way that I think it makes sense to me and help me in my life and career. And second, was I don't want to create a marketing company for the sake of a marketing, not just a company that creates beautiful reports. I want to make my clients rich. And I want to make them rich because I want to learn certain things that later on use it for myself. They paid me, like if they paid me 10, I worked 15 for them. And for them, they were looking at it, oh, that was like underpriced. But for me, I was looking at it the way that, oh, they paid me to figure out something for myself. It was a very win-win situation. It was just how you're going to look at it. And what I realized is, especially in any way of like trying to communicate with anybody in any kind of relationship, if it's a friendship, if it's business relationship, if it's like a romantic relationship, whatever it is, which at the end of the day, for me, business is a human game as well, all the personal relationship applies, is that it's not about you. Whatever you're trying to communicate, it's not about you, it's about the other person. And normally, like in any, let me just get a bit personal and give you a little example that we see every day. You're a good-looking guy. You go to a bar, you're single, you go to a bar, you see like a beautiful girl, you want to pick her up. And you're just like, oh, I'm visiting, I'm a tourist, I just want to have a good night and just let's see what I can do. The way that, like, in that example, which happens a lot, in that example, your objective is that I want to have her back in my apartment or hotel room. But you don't go to her and say that, hey, my name is Enrico, let's go back to my apartment. She's going to slap you, right? So what you do, which comes to you naturally, you start like talking to her about what she's interested in. So first you be a giver about what she's interested. Like, first of all, you need to look presentable, be a gentleman, start like having her attention, then engaging, then she's gonna let you buy her a drink, and it goes on and on. So first, you just tell her what she wants to hear in order to later on for her to do what you want her to do. And it comes to us naturally in real life, but when it comes to business, for some reason, we just do that 17-year-old dude move that just like, hey, like you see it on your Facebook and Instagram feed, just like, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. And it's like, who are you? Like, come back to my apartment, come back to my apartment, come back to my apartment. It's like, who are you? Like, and the girls, like you ladies, you understand it way better than us men, because you see it on daily basis. There are guys that on daily basis, they try to sell themselves to you. So you understand that better than us. Well, maybe some other guys here are more good looking than I. They have the same problem, but I don't. So like understanding that, same thing that I was saying, business is a human game. Understanding that all the human relationship rules applies to business as well. You understand that it's not about you, it's about the other person. And when I say like it's not about you, what is you? You is the solution. I am trying to sell something, you have a problem, I have a solution for that. I want you to give me your money so I can give that to you, right? And same concept, the other person, when she didn't want to hear about what you're interested in, same thing for the customers. It's not about the solution, it's about the problem. You may have heard of that famous quote that the client doesn't want like a 2-inch driller. They want a 2-inch hole in the wall. So understanding like what they want, not what you want to, what they want to hear, not necessarily what you're excited to talk about. And when you shift that mindset, a lot of things, same as what I told you, how I was looking at it with my clients. It's like when you shift the mindset, you see that, oh, it's not about what I'm selling or what they buy. It's about why they should buy what I'm selling, if that makes sense. And it was very interesting, me, as I told you, being a good observer, I started to see some trends, and I started to see some stuff which was, to me, like outrageous that a lot of people don't see it, especially like billion-dollar companies. I remember 2015, around September, I was living in Rome, center of Rome, around Piazza Navona. I'm walking around, there are like billboards of, it was the time that the iPhone S7 came out and Samsung Galaxy S7, something like that. I don't even remember the name of it. And there was a huge difference between the two, the way that they were communicating. Here are the billboards. The Samsung one, it was the first time that they had that curvy screens. It was just like, look how cool we are. Like, we were able to have that, like, look what we are able to do, what we have. Me, my apartment, my apartment, my apartment. It was just all about me. But this one, they don't even show the product. They understood one thing, especially like in a place like the center of Rome. They were just like, oh, wait a minute. Now everybody's like living on Instagram, and they cannot have like a big ass camera with them everywhere. So we need to have a good camera. So they started saying that, oh, you see this beautiful picture of Bali or Positano or New York City? Oh, it's not like a professional photographer or professional camera. It's been done by an iPhone 7 that you can have in your pocket. What we are selling, why you should buy what we are selling. And it was so obvious to me, and I was like, this is $1 billion company, how they can be this stupid? Something happened. 2 years later, it was the time last year, iPhone X came out, and Samsung S8. And these guys were just like, they realized like, fuck, we missed it. That's how we should do it. And I was in California, Venice Beach. People go do surfing. It was like, oh, we're back after 2 years. Oh, now we want to show you why you should buy it, not what it is. And it's just like, oh, you go like in the water? Like you can also use it under the water. Too late. These guys were way ahead of that. These guys were looking at trends, especially in the US. They saw that the number of selfies, especially for women between 35 to 48, cougar selfies, were just like going up. And the problem was that, again, living in social media world and all these people taking the selfies, was that the selfie cameras were always shit. Were always like way low quality. And they just said that, oh, we know that. And we understand that. We hear you. And we also have the portrait mode that you can have on the iPhone S7 Plus. We have it on the selfie camera of iPhone X as well. Then they started also, I saw it in Milan in Christmas last year, that they had this, like a mostra, that they had an exhibition. They had all these beautiful pictures of these beautiful people from different genders, different races, different parts of the world, that they had beautiful selfies, and it was just like selfie on iPhone X. What we are selling, again, still, why you should buy what we are selling. And it's very interesting that not only in terms of how they communicate to the outside world, how they communicate internally, understanding like, what is going on with me? What's up with me? A lot of them, they don't know. A lot of them, they don't know. What happened, and a very good example of it, I was just like, again, let me see. Apple was not the same, you know it. Apple was not the first computer company or the first company that they made tablets or the first company made MP3 players. But why they became so stable in the market than the others? I was looking at another company which was way more successful than Apple before Apple becomes successful, which was Dell. We all know that. We don't even hear from them anymore. And the thing is, since 1997, when Steve Jobs came back to Apple, they had that fantastic campaign of Think Different, and they're still sticking to that. And they knew why they're doing that. If you have watched it, if you have not, please do. The ad that they had, the campaign that they started running at 1997, they didn't show the computer. or like what they started showing, like Albert Einstein. They started showing like Mahatma Gandhi, Muhammad Ali, Clay. Say like, oh, you see these people that against all the odds, they went there, they believed in themselves, and they were different, and they made it? We're like that. We're like that. He was a boxer. He was like a scientist. We're just now making computers. We don't know what's going to happen next. But this is how we are wired. This is how we do it. And that's why now it comes to you naturally that like, oh, a computer company like Apple, they made like MP3 players, or they made phones, or they made watches, or now the smart home speakers. It comes to you naturally to whatever it's Apple, it's cool, and you're okay to buy it. Imagine it's a computer company. Imagine a Dell watch. It's just like, it's weird. You can't, it's the same thing, but it's not. Because they don't know what the fuck is going on with themselves. Every other year they go to a therapist and they change their therapist. So to me, back to what we were trying to explain about like, okay, what is growth hacking? That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that, that understand that it's not about you, it's about the other one. It's not about what I am selling, it's about why you should buy why I'm selling. And then try to spread that word. It was just like, okay, we understood it, how we can spread that word to the right people the fastest way possible. And I quickly can go over this. And it happened like, not only like we talked about a business, how they communicate with, to their customers. We talked about how businesses see themselves. It happens the same for personal lives as well. I urge you to think about how you are acting and reacting in your personal lives or your career as well. Simple example, that's like, if you remember, I said like the golden circle, I try to adjust it like how it works for me as a person. I was like, okay, what is going on? Simple example. First of all, let's say I'm in Milan, I'm gonna go to Rome. What am I, and I'm like, I'm on my car, a uno. Why I'm in the car going? Because I wanna go to Rome. That's my why. That's the end goal. That's a North Star. What am I doing is to just like focusing on the road, so I'm not gonna have an accident. And how I'm doing it, it's a uno, the highway. But if you think about it, why am I doing it? Because I'm going to Rome, that's my destination, it's very important. What am I doing? Just focusing on driving and not having a few seconds of distraction so there is not going to be an accident. It's very important. But how I'm doing it is not that important. If it's a uno, if it's a, because simple example, if the road is blocked, and they say like it's blocked for 6 hours, what do? You just sit there, like, okay, I have to do it on a uno. No, you just find another way and do it. The how is not that important. The why is important, the what is important. But the thing is, again, as an observer, a lot of people, they stuck into the how. The how is what the society pushed them to think and act. Like, if I get that company in my CV for 2 years, if I get that degree, and then when it comes to business, oh, like the how, it was the how of communication was the radio, then TV, then it became, internet came in, social media, now the voice is coming. And then the how changes. The why and the what is the most important thing. And I want to move forward very quickly to here. And then this communication, example of Enrico in that bar, two things. Again, in personal life comes to you very naturally, but when it comes to business, I see that a lot of people, they just like don't get it. If you're a 30-something-year-old guy and you're trying to like, okay, I live in Milan, I want to date a 30-something-year-old girl who's like also independent, working, benestante, and naturally you go to maybe a lounge in Berera. You don't go to an Irish pub in the close to the university. And it comes to you naturally. And you understand what I'm looking for, where they are. So understanding where they are. And when you show up, the way that you dress would be different because you want the attraction. Same thing. Same thing. The 4 steps that we always say is that first of all, get the attraction. Okay, I have to have your attention to be able to talk to you and have my message over. And then, okay, now I gave you the chance to talk to me. What's next? Engagement. Now you have to be funny. You have to be like a interesting person for someone to be listened to. And then when the time is right, have your call to action and acquire the customer. And the thing is, up to here, attract, engage, acquire, same thing that we were discussing, it's all about why I should talk to you, not him, not him, not him. The customer is that beautiful girl in the bar that everybody's trying to talk to her. Why I should talk to you, not to him, not to him. This is about the why. But then after you acquire the customer, this a bit changes. Like you have the best concept, you have the best messaging, you brought them in and you convince them why they should buy what you're selling. If your product sucks, then they're not going to stay with you. So after acquiring, your whole concept of event communication should change from focusing on the why to focusing on the what, which would be the quality of the product or services and the customer service. That is going to keep the. So a very like a framework of the growth approach, as we call it. First of all, if in the example of like Milan, Rome, if I'm going to go to Rome, do I have to go south or north or east or west? Depends on where I am. If I'm in Milan, I have to go south. If I'm in Naples, I have to go north. So if you don't know where you are, whichever direction you go is a wrong direction. So the first step, understanding where the fuck am I? What is going on? Like what would be what am I doing? How, like my business, my revenue models, my cost models, the market, the trends, my competitors. What about my customers? Like understanding what is going on, like where am I? Okay, now I understand that I'm in Milan. And based on the car that I have, the resources that I have, which would be my human resources and also infrastructure, the knowledge that I have through my partners or internally, realistically, I have a car and like I have this much money and I can get this much gas. Realistically, I can go up to Florence in a short period of time, which for us short period is 1 year, long term would be at least 5 years. So based on when you understand where you are and your resources, defining the second step, which is the strategy where I'm trying to go. And now I know where I am, where I'm trying to go, then would be the how. Which the how, we're talking about business and a for-profit business, we want money, so we need to sell. To sell would be having customers, which would be the 4 steps that we talked about. And the thing is, this is a very important point. Till now, Just say, okay, I'm here, I'm gonna go there, this is how I'm gonna go there. Until this moment, everything is an assumption. We think we're able, based on the information that we think that this is going to be the place we're able to go. We think this is the best way to go there, but we don't know for facts. So what do? We start testing. You have to do, that's where, again, the growth hacking of testing and experimenting comes into the place. We start testing. For the ads, we have a strategy. This is how we do it. I go to my client, after we define this, go to my client, and what's your name, sir? Vito. I'm like, Vito, how much you can afford on daily budgets, because we're selling a lot through social media. How much you can afford daily, knowing that the return on that investment is going to be zero. Like, I'm gonna, like, because I don't know, I'm just gonna test it. Be ready to have, like, no return. He's gonna say, okay, I have $10 a day that I can spend. Fantastic, give me the $10. We start, like, testing the assumptions that we have. We start to see, we think that this is what they want to hear. We don't know for a fact. We test it. $10, no result. Another $10, no result. Another $10, no result. Now we got data. Now we start seeing if something is going on. Then we adjust it. New campaign, $10. Oh, we see some stuff going on. Okay, let's just adjust it until we reach to a point that we see like, oh, money is coming now. Okay, now the strategy changes. Vito, how much money you can afford knowing that you're gonna have the highest return on your investment now? Just like, I can afford $100 a day. Give me that $100. We put the $100, we get like a 2, 5, 10 times return on the sales. And the thing is going on. But then after a while, because what works today doesn't mean necessarily is going to work tomorrow. After a while, we see that, oh, snap, it started like not working. We need a new pickup line. So we're just like, okay, close the faucet. Let's go back to that $10. And we do the process again and again and again. And the thing is, how, if we're doing good or not, and how good are we doing, we need to be able to monitor the process. So defining certain KPIs, key performance indicators, to just understand like, okay, because blind testing is just completely ruin your money, understanding what we're testing. So then we do the testing, being able to monitor if we're doing good and how good are we doing. And then now that we have a process in place, how we can maintain this process as a machine, because this needs to work. This, it looks very simple, but it's easy said than done. To just being able to have that. We have clients now for over 2 years, and more or less every 2 months this changes. This changes. So, and 2 quick concepts, and then I'm gonna give you 2 case studies as I was telling you, and explain how we did it for these clients. The branding and marketing, which is very, 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 very important to me personally, especially the branding part. The way that we define it, we say branding is an activity you do and you expect a long-term impact on your business to build the trust, loyalty. It's like a farming. And marketing is an activity you do and you expect a short-term impact on your business. Transaction, sales. Which is like, because you get a very fast result, that's like hunting. You go and hunt. And you may hear that people say like, oh, you need to have a balance between your marketing and branding. Wrong. No, balance means 50-50. I say like you need to have a harmony between the two. Sometimes might be 50-50, sometimes you may do 80-20 or 30-70. Depends on the period. If you're a fashion brand, during the Christmas time, that's a hunting season. You gotta go out and just sell as much as you can. But then when it comes January and nobody has money and you don't even have the new collections and stuff, that's a branding season. That's a farming season. Prepare them for what is going to be the next season. So, any questions till now? All right. So I want to give you two case studies, two things that happened the last 6 months, two of the clients that we had, and how we did what we did and what were the results. And to explain that the growth hacking mindset can be applied to any kind of business, B2B or B2C. First one, a restaurant in Milan, a burger joint called The Lab. The restaurant, they opened the restaurant, two partners. They opened the restaurant at the end of December last year. And it was like 30 seconds walk from my house, and I never cook. So I eat out, I was just testing all the restaurants. I was new in Milan. I started to testing the different restaurants. It was just oh my God, this is amazing. They have amazing burgers, and they have amazing service, but nothing is going on. Why there are not a lot of people? And it's very hard, trust me, in Italy to find a good burger. And so as a regular customer, I became friends with them. Sometimes there were weeks that I was eating there 5 times a week because it was so amazing. And they were just man, chill, you need to eat some vegetables. Then I was just do this, do that. A simple example, as a simple things that I could see. One night I remember I was there and I was waiting for my food. I saw that this couple finishing their dinner, and I could hear that they're talking to each other oh my God, this was amazing. And they were just I want to have the dessert. It's an experiment, it's an experiment of tiramisu. I want to have that. But I just I'm so full. And I told the guy behind the counter, I was Marco, vieni qua. It's hunting season. I was this is what you do. When they're trying to leave, you grab one and you ask them how it was. You grab a business card and you ask his name, Luca. Let's, for the sake of the example, you just write it. He has a beautiful pen. Just with that pen, you just free dessert, free dolce for Luca. And just give it to them. It's just I saw that you didn't have the dessert. Our dessert is fucking fantastic. You should try it, and this is gonna be on you on us for the next time. And he did it, and this guy in front of his girlfriend, he just felt so special. And 2 nights after that, I was again there, obviously, and I saw the same people there having the tiramisu. He was just hey, Armin worked. I know. The day after I was there, I saw that he had a stack of business cards with the stamp on him, says free dolce. I was what the fuck are you doing, Marco? He was just it worked. I want to do it. It worked because you made them feel special, not like a machine. I was let me see what he was just yeah, okay, understand. We want to hire your company. I was just you're too small for us. We're going to be very expensive for you. We made a deal because I really wanted to do it. My commercialista was just this is no, don't do it. I was I see something, I want to do it. We joined we started a new partnership with them, joined the contract. And 1st of June, those two beautiful minds there, Priscilla and Julie, they started working on that. And we set up a photo shoot. We built up the whole Instagram and all the other pages based on those beautiful photo shoots that you see. We spend around like 32 euros promoting those posts to figure out, to get like a showing a lot of attraction and see that like people are like really into that. Then we start like gathering information from like the people. I was like, Marco, ask where they're, like how did they, like whoever comes, like where they're coming from. We saw that the majority of them come from TripAdvisor, and there were some that they were coming from Instagram. So we're just like, okay, understanding where they are. They are in that lounge in Berera, not in the Irish pub. So this is where you are. So if I have a story, I have to show up there. So we showed up there. We tried to just see what's going on. We asked people to write reviews. We had some ideas how this works. So we start testing. We saw that by testing, we saw that if Vito has 600 reviews, Enrico has 2 reviews. When he writes a review, we go way higher than maybe if he writes a review, we're still there. Because like, oh, this is their friends. So we understood what the algorithm wants to hear. The algorithm wants to hear that the people that they are very active talk good about you, not someone out of nowhere. Ah, okay, TripAdvisor, you want to hear that? I'll tell you that. So we started like finding people that they have like a high number of reviews. We just sent them a direct message on Instagram and TripAdvisor. Hey, we see that you're very active in the community, and we really appreciate it. We have this restaurant, we opened it, and we believe like we're able to make like one of the best burgers in the world. We would be happy to invite you +1 with your boyfriend or girlfriend or your friend. Come over, have a meal, have a dinner on us in exchange of having your honest review. If it's shit, write it's shit. But if it's good, please write it's good. They came. They wrote a review. All of them 5-star. 200, another 500, another 1,000. It took us 2 months. We reached the #1 ranking of all the restaurants in Milan, and it's been 2 months that we are there. We increased the revenue the first 2 months by 62.5%. In 3 months, 100%. We doubled the revenue. Same concept that I was explaining. It was the mindset. Where they are, what they want to hear. If it's a customer or even an algorithm, tell them what they want to hear. It's about what they want to hear. It's not about what you're excited to talk about. And last month, we were looking at the statistics from the Google business. Like the numbers are, look at that. And now every night we have a line outside of the restaurant, and we're looking to open the 2nd location in January. This is a restaurant which was more or less empty on Saturday nights, Friday nights. Another example, completely different, a blockchain development company based in Rotterdam that they wanted to do their ICO at the worst time to do an ICO, which was January 2018, right after all the cryptocurrencies, especially like they just all dropped, and there were like a lot of scams. Everybody were just like very skeptical about the ICOs, cryptocurrencies. But these were like very legit people, and they were like they had an amazing product, and they're building a new platform that it's called Bank in the Box. The company is called Whizzle, Whizzle.io is their website. that you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies with fiat currencies. Fiat currencies like euro, dollars, pounds. And they also have their own, it's like a bankomat, debit card that you can have your different currencies on that. And also they have the POS machines that you can go and spend that money on different places and buy stuff. So we were just like, shit, what we can do over here? What is going on in this situation? Which, as you can see, that almost here around like 100 people, 170 people per day were on their website. And then right here on this day, you don't see it, but it's like over 15,000 people from 170 to 15,000 and up to 20,000 more or less to the website. And they're like really engaging. They're like really engaging, and they're coming back as well. The quality of the projector is not good at all, but you understand what is going on. The thing was, we're just like, okay, there is a lot of bad news out there. People, they don't trust this. So the new people that they were just having that gold rush, that looking at it just as an investment for a short period, they're not going to be in it. So if we want to have some people, we have to have people who really believe that this is going to be the future, and they're gonna be part of it because of that, not because they want to make some good money in a short period of time. So who are these people and where their attention is? Like we had to find that lounge in Berera. So where their attention is, we saw that like, okay, let's start reviewing where these, because like a lot of these people, if in the crypto world, they're all like hanging in Reddit. It's a very nerdy social media platform. And then, okay. And so what we started to do, we started looking at these platforms and see who are the people that they're still having as influencers. They're still having engagement. So there are like people that there's still people listening to them. We found those lounges. And these were around like 20 people from San Francisco to New York to London to Berlin to Hong Kong to Tokyo. And especially a lot in the Russia and ex-USSR countries. So we started contacting these people, explain what we do, and we offered them, some of them money, some of them they just loved the idea, wanted to help and talk about it. And we, for like 3 months, we start preparing more or less 2 months, we start preparing what we wanted to go out. And in one day, which was this day, we pushed the button. 20 of these influencers all over the world that they had 20 of these lounges. They started all talking about us at the same time. And we started like offering. They said like, oh, you know what? And what they do right now, they offer you something for free if you go there and register on their website. So people came to see what is this amazing thing and also get the free stuff. Free stuff, we had our tokens, which was what we created, so we could give it out to them, and in exchange of having their information. We got their information, and then at the end, when they gave us the information, we gave them the free stuff. We said like, oh, you know what? There is also this link that now you have. If you give it to your friend, and they come, we're going to give them same amount of free stuff, but also because you brought them, we're going to give some more to you as well. We had, in less than 2 weeks, 150,000 people registered on our website. We started having a database of 150,000 people for a currency The most important thing why a currency like US dollars or euro, they're like very, like apart from the government stuff, why they are important, because there are a lot of people using that. So we needed the community. We created the community in 2 weeks. 150,000 people now using our product. And last thing, to just close it, I didn't get a chance to show you some of these tools, but last thing is that people get used to discounts, but don't get used to free stuff. Same thing that happened to that restaurant and over here as well. Instead of offering discounts, try to give them free stuff, what you can afford. That's why when you go to a luxury brand, if you go to a Bulgari store and buy a $4,000, like, or a Prada, you go and buy a $4,000 bag, and if you say discount, they're not gonna give you discount. They're gonna give you, like, if you insist, they're gonna give you a little, maybe a card holder that costs $250. They say like, oh, we give you as a gift. Your mentality not gonna go on that. But if you get a discount the first time, you're gonna keep asking for a discount and you're expecting that. But if you receive a free thing, you're not expecting to receive free stuff again and again. Thank you so much.